have 3 generations to end what I have begun. Only a son or daughter must hear your song in the land I now rule. If they fail, as you know, Njama will be swallowed by time and lost forever.
No! What have I done?
Danfo offers unparalleled, curated and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfo, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfo, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfo.africa. To learn more, visit Danfo.africa.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, you know what? I got one more commercial I got to run. Guys, we'll be right back. I'm sorry. I can't, I don't want these sponsors upset at me. We'll be right back.
History isn't just what happened, it's who we are. And now you can explore Africa's incredible past like never before. Introducing the new and engaging course catalog from aelearning.net, a world-class provider of interactive e-learning focused on Africa's rich and diverse history. From the rise of ancient Nubia and the power of the Mali Empire, to the architectural wonders of Egypt and the development of astrological knowledge by the Dogon people, each self-paced course brings history to life through stunning visuals, immersive video lessons, and interactive assessments. Designed for students, educators, and lifelong learners around the world, AE Learning's courses make discovering Africa's story easier, deeper, and more engaging than ever. With AE Learning, education meets flexibility. Whether you're a student, teacher, or lifelong learner, our platform gives you access to credible knowledge, rich multimedia lessons, and tools that make learning African history engaging and unforgettable. Join thousands of learners already rediscovering Africa's past and shaping its future. Visit www.aelearning.net today. Start your journey through Africa's past today, because the story of Africa is the story of us all. AE Learning, inspiration through high-quality education.
All right, peace, fam. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. I gotta get centered somehow. There we go. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Everyone, thank you. Thank you so much for joining. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. Let's see. What else we talking about? It is a beautiful day outside. Spring is here. Spring is here. Spring is here. And I am having a great day today. Um, got a couple of announcements. Announcement number one, we are rolling to Senegal in a couple weeks. No, couple weeks. We leave May 8th. Well, May 9th, actually. I'll be in New York May 8th. Hey, if you're in New York, hit me up. Let's link up, y'all. Again, if you're in New York, let's link up. I'll be up there May 8th. I usually stay in Brooklyn with a friend. So I'll be up there, and we could definitely link up. So yeah, but love to have you. We're going to the jazz festival. And guys, I'm actually multitasking. I gotta text Dory the link. I sent her the wrong link. Dory will be on here shortly. And we're gonna have another awesome discussion. So let me get this link to her, guys. I apologize. I had sent her the wrong link. We gotta make sure she get the right link. Hold on, let me get this to her right now. There we go. And I think I did send her the wrong link. Let's see here. No, that's the right link. Yeah, it's lagging. Yeah, she got that Sierra Leone. Oh, there she go. I see her. There you go. I see you, Dory. I see you. Let me go through the, announcements. Then I'm gonna bring you on, all that good stuff. So guys, hit that like button, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. Shout out to R Zuls, appreciate you. Yeah, so we're going to Senegal here, May 9th to the 18th for the Jazz Festival. So if you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfo.africa. Again, if you're interested in joining us, please visit Danfo, that's DANFO.Africa to learn more. We will love to host you, on one of our many excursions. Again, we'll love to host you on one of our excursions. We are also going to Nigeria in August for the Oshun Festival. Where else are we going? Nigeria in August for the Oshun Festival. Zanzibar in September for Safari Blue. And then we're doing Ghana and Ivory Coast in November, also Sierra Leone. What was I going to say? Guys, what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz does not affect Africa as far as travel. Okay. I just want to put that out there. All right. What's going on the Strait of Hormuz does not affect Africa and travel. Just want to put that out there. So yeah, so that's what's going on. Happy to see everyone. Let's do this. Let's bring on our host Dori Massey-Turay, the multifaceted, awesome director / hotel empire building. What's the word I want to use? There's a word. There's a word I want to use. I can't think of the word right now. Y'all know I went to the University of Georgia, but even though I went to the University of Georgia, it show is better than Ohio State. It show is better than Ohio State. Hotel connoisseur. There we go. The hotel connoisseur, tour operator, chief. What else is Dory? I'm trying to think of some more things for Dory. Even though she's from Ohio, it's okay. It's all right. It's okay to be from Ohio. What else is Dory? Currently in Freetown, representing the diaspora so well. She's such a great role model when it comes to the diaspora. Y'all don't understand the work Dory puts on behind the scenes. I don't know how she sleeps at night. I don't think she sleeps at night. I don't think she gets any rest. I think she just be working. Shout out to Dory. And we know Dory is in Sierra Leone because we can hear the wall unit in the background.
Really?
we know you in Africa when we hear the wall unit, because you got no central air over there.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the gracious,
absolutely.
The introduction. I truly appreciate it, and absolutely. And inviting me back again. So
yeah, Dory. Whenever you want to come on, And Dory, I owe you some money. I'm gonna send you my money today because I don't want you to send
Definitely
them.
owe me some money.
I don't want to send the goon. I don't want you to send the goons after me from Ohio. I don't want you to send them. But yeah. So Dory's back on, guys. Listen, hit that like button. Yeah, I mean, Dory, you're doing a lot. We appreciate you. Like I said, you are welcome to come on here anytime you want to. You just let me know.
Thank you.
Y'all, Dory, hey, whatever I'm in Freetown, I go to the hotel. Dory sets me out with my cassava leaf,
BSAP.
and BSAP, y'all. Dory be looking out. Yeah, and then she put me on that ice cream too, that black cherry ice cream.
Oh my goodness, that is the best. It was black cherry. They had mango. They have all types of
I had the black
flavors.
cherry. That black cherry was fire.
I know you had eaten it before you even got back to the hotel. You left the store, ate the whole pint.
I did. It was that good. That black cherry ice cream is delicious.
House
so
of
Dory,
Beans.
So Dory, what's going on? What's going on in Sierra Leone? What's going on in Freetown right now? Nothing. Is it rain? It's starting to get rain. Are you guys starting to get rain yet?
So basically, our rainy season is from June to August, with August being the heaviest of the rains. So around this time in April, May, I believe this is true. It may be a folktale that they say, but last week we had our first rains. And so basically it's telling you you'll get 3 rains before the actual rainy season happens. So if you haven't planted your seed, if your seed is not in the ground, you got 2 more chances. If your seed is not in the ground by that final 3rd starter rain, then you're not going to have a good crop. And so I believe it. So I've been here for 7 years, and I believe that is how it happens. It happens 3 rains in a row.
Dory, you said 7 years, and I had to step back for a second. I'm like, has it been 7 years? Because I got my passport in January of 2021, so time has gone by fast.
Yes, it has. It really has.
Because you got yours. Because you got yours April of 2021. Is that Desmond?
Yes.
Shout out to Desmond. Shout out to Desmond.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, Desmond. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. Yeah, we're looking for you. Are you gonna be here on the 4th?
This is not a phone call.
Oh, it's not a phone call?
No.
Okay.
Desmond still can say, because Desmond can come say hi to everybody if you want to, Mister. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Well, I was here before.
Right.
I received my passport. So I actually got here January 2019. And so I did not receive my passport until November 2021. I found out that I was Sierra Leonean Mende after I had moved here.
Would you take your test? Would you take your test?
I took my test. You said you received your passport in April 2021?
No. I would say my passport January 2021.
Okay, so the group that came in April of 2021, they took me to an African ancestry cocktail party. And so there, I took the test. It was basically put to me. I've always thought that if I wanted a Sierra Leonean passport, my husband is Sierra Leonean, I'll get it through him. I've taken an ancestry.com test. It came back that I was Nigerian. But after speaking to Dr. Gina Page, she basically said, no, you want to take this mitochondrial test, which tells your mom, her mom's mom, her mom's mom, her mom's mom, and going down that way, right? And so I said, okay, well, that makes sense to me. Let me go ahead and take the test. And so June 27th, 2021, I found out that not only was I living in Sierra Leone, married to a Sierra Leonean, but now I am a descendant of a Mende woman. And so that was, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
Desmond, why are you acting up, Desmond? Desmond.
Get out of here.
Huh?
Go.
Let Desmond want to come on camera. Let Desmond come on camera. Come on, Desmond. Come on camera, Desmond. I know you want to come on camera. Come on, Desmond. Come on.
You know
What's up, Desmond?
No, let him be a guest here.
Come on, Desmond. You can be a guest, Desmond.
What it is?
I'm talking about storytelling in Africa.
Desmond, what's up? Desmond, we're live, Desmond.
We are live.
Live on what?
On YouTube. Please go.
What you doing?
We live on you, Desmond. We live on YouTube and Facebook. We live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're promoting the play. You know, Desmond. They say you got a special scene in there too, Desmond.
Hey. Oh, on the play.
Yeah, the play. They said that you come out with your shirt off, and all the girls just run up to you. You know, you got like 2 or 3 wives in the play. That's what they said. You got like 3 wives in the play. They say you got they say you got like a kissing scene, romance scene, you know, but the play's for the children. So, you know, the other version is gonna be strictly, you know, for late night Cinemax. You know, remember the Cinemax late night, you know, that's what they say about the play. So y'all, Desmond's in the play. He comes in the play, rips his shirt off, beats some people up, then takes all the girls and next day left. That's right. You wrote that in. I added that in there.
That would have been nice, man. You know how that goes.
Be your own peoples.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dory, tell us about the play. You know that's coming up. You know, tell us, and I owe you some money, Dory, for I'm a sponsor a couple tickets. You know, because y'all, you know, the power. Yeah, this is the power couple in Freetown. These two, though they're humble right now, but this is the power couple. You know.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. So basically, I wrote this play called The Song of Njama. It's loosely based off of Desmond and I's story, how we met, our journey coming to Sierra Leone, all of that. And then to come to Sierra Leone and to learn another side of the story, a different story from the story that we were told in America. And so I think it's Chinua Achebe that said, if you only know one part of a story, then you know no parts of the story at all.
Right.
And so I feel like as Americans, the story through propaganda that was told to us is a distortion of this history. And so when I came here, and I'm sure you hear the drumming in the background, they are also practicing for the play at the lodge as well. And so basically the story is it's not focusing on slavery. It's basically focusing on who we were as a people before that interruption, and who that village is after the interruption. It is a story of remembrance, ancestral powers. So we have the 3 ancestors that are always there guiding the people that were of the soil and the people that were taken from the soil. They were always guiding them and calling them back. And so in essence, the song is always there. It's always calling to us, to the ones that are listening. And so that is the type of story, that is the play that I wrote here.
Okay. What the process of putting a play together in Sierra Leone, in Freetown, because we know some of the challenges, you know, love my country, love it. But we know some of the challenges. How was that getting that organized?
I believe the organization went, whenever you have a plan, the plan is, looks really good on paper, but then when you start to execute it, everything doesn't go as according to that plan. And so the cast has been great. 100% Sierra Leoneans make up the cast. The director is great. The way that he has taken my story and what he is presenting, that's great. But I would say some of the challenges are just the venues. We don't have a lot of theatrical venues in Sierra Leone. And so the one that we went to is a bigger venue that seats 650 people. And so there's an added cost to that, because the type of theatrical production that we are putting on, it needs that big of a space. And so with that big space, of course, the challenges will always be money.
Yeah. Guys, hit the like button. I don't know if you know Marie. You know Marie. Marie, I think she came with you to get her passport. Marie Shaw, you know Marie.
Yes, you're talking about Marcella.
You just yeah, Marcella, yeah.
Yeah, Marcella. What did you call her?
Marie. I mean, she got like 20 names.
Oh, okay. These people go.
Watch out.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. Listen, Desmond is the man of the house. If he want to walk around, in the middle of the live stream, let him do his thing. Let him do his thing. Desmond, listen, if you want to walk around your house, while we live streaming, that's fine.
He is gone. I wish I could lock the door, but he's gone.
Marie, why are you yelling at Marie telling me to stop it? Marie got like 35 names. Shelly, Marie.
Right, because you said you know Marie. I was like, no, I know Marcella.
You got your Yoruba name. Marie still got your Yoruba name? You don't got your Yoruba name no more? Marie, I gave you a Yoruba name. You had 2 Yoruba names, Marie, when you came to Nigeria with me. You already had one before we came. Marie, it's okay. So tell us the importance just really is you being a woman and you being able to create and building a future, the role you're playing in building the future of Africa through storytelling, because storytelling is very important. Tell us more about that. Is this your first play?
Exactly, yes. This is my first play. This is my first anything of this magnitude. I've never done anything like this. So yes, this is my first. So here we are. So let me tell you a little bit. So I was late today because we finally, I shouldn't say finally, but we were able to come into agreement with the Ministry of Tourism.
Oh, wow. Okay, good.
So our Honorable Minister, Nabila Tunis, she has agreed to endorse our play, sponsor it, because she has themed this year in culture and creativity. And so that is the theme. So definitely with the play itself, it's creativity and it's our culture. And so I have checked both of the boxes. So look out for that type of endorsement. That'll probably be coming out either tonight or tomorrow morning.
How did the meeting go? Like, was she excited? Like, what is she?
She was very excited. She was very excited. She has seen some of the videos. Some of her staff was a part of the cast, the National Dance Troupe, and this is who is out. This is who you hear in the background. I don't know if it's.
I hear it. I hear we hear the drumming. Yeah.
Yeah, and so the National Dance Troupe would be part of the theatrical. This theatrical production, and so she was really happy about that they will be shown on a bigger stage. And so I mean, I think it is really good in the story that we are telling. Like I said, is not completely focused on slavery, but it's focused on that rift, who we are, who we were before the rift, and who we are going out of that rift, and what does that look like, and how can we get back into community and working together.
What are your thoughts on the actual like riff and us getting back together? Because it seems like the riff is getting wider. If you ask me, what do you think?
I definitely believe that the rift is getting wider. It all goes down to the stories that we've been told, and so if you have a distorted outlook of in history, then that distortion affects your identity. And so we were taught that the people here on this side of the continent sold us into slavery, right? We on the other side of the continent, or the people that was taken away from the soil, we feel some kind of way that we were abandoned by them, right?
Mhm.
And then we were told a story also about them, that they were uncivilized, that they were savages.
Mhm.
It's a distortion of our history because it's very complex. It's not it's not something that you can just, it's not a one size fit all.
Right.
And when you go into storytelling, you try to try to get back pieces of our own story, the story where it's told through the eyes of the people that were left behind. And then to not only hear their side of the story as well, but also allow them to hear our story. Because when you listen to both sides, you can completely understand why that divide is getting larger. But at some point, we have to start saying, okay, we're not going to believe what the lies of the colonizer or the oppressor. We're not going to believe that story. Maybe let us go back to the soil and see exactly what that story what is. And then when you learn the other side of the story, I think you have a responsibility to go back and tell that story in a way that both sides can kind of come to grips. If not come to grips with it, at least start a conversation.
Mhm. That's good. Guys, hit the like button. Again, please hit that like button. The link is in the chat room. And Marie, yes, Marie, you have 2 Yoruba names. Stop it, Marie. I don't know why you on here. Marcella, you have 2 Yoruba names. I don't know why you on here playing games, Marcella. I don't know why you on here playing games. Oh, no, Dory, question. Hold on. Where's my passport at? People have been asking. Now, I renewed my passport last time I was there. Is there does VSL have a service where you could just they could renew it for you? Or
Yes, VSL also has a service, and Salon Hidden Gems has a service as well.
okay,
So love Bimbala to death, but it would be great if you would.
no problem. Hold on. Let me put in the chat right now. Hold on one second. I have a WhatsApp group. Hold
And
on
I'm
one second.
okay. You can share my telephone number with them, my WhatsApp number. That's okay with me.
Let's call Dory. Let me do it right now. What's your number? No, hold on. I have it. Let me just copy and paste it in this chat. Dory. So how's it work? What all do they need?
So basically, you can go to CVS or anybody that does the passport pictures, ask them for the digital passport pictures. I would need 4 of those to be digitally emailed to me. I would need the copy of the Sierra Leonean passport. I'm trying to think. I believe that's it. If not, once they contact me, I'll let them know. But off the top of my head, I know those are the 2 things that they could email to me, and then I'll give them the rest of the process.
Yeah, so everyone go through Dory. I put it in my chat from our group from my group from 2022 to also go through you. So you guys go through Dory. Okay, guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation. Will the play be live stream, or will there be like a? You need to do a link where people could pay.
Now, for the very first time, we were very adamant today in the meeting that this is something, because it was written in Sierra Leone by us for us, that these first 2 performances should just stay with us. So if you can make it here, you definitely be able to see it in person. But it's just something that we feel that it should just stay with us. And then eventually we will live stream it, hopefully bring it across the waters to America. I am in talks with a couple of theaters in America as well. So we'll see.
Okay. Yeah. So again, guys, in fact, I need y'all in the chat room to match. Was it 4 people I'm doing? 4 people? 4 tickets?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm doing 4 tickets in the nosebleeds. So I need y'all to do everyone in here to do 4 tickets as well. All right. I need you guys to match. How can if they want to send money to contribute, donate, what can they do? How can they buy tickets if they want to buy? Or
yeah, if they want to buy the tickets, they can definitely Zelle me. My Zelle is info@salonhiddengems.com. I also have a Cash App, which is $DS Mass MASS 25.
All right, guys. So I'm going to put the link on the screen. So that's the link right there. The Zelle. So if you guys want the Zelle, and then what's the Cash App?
$D as in David, S as in Sam, MASS 25.
Okay. 25. Okay. How about if you match my contribution? Okay, y'all. Everyone match. I don't. If that call in and tell us your contribution. Come on, call in, guys. We need some people to call in. Click on the link and call in. If you got to turn your camera off, that's fine, no problem. If you don't want to show your face, because I know some of y'all shy, that's okay. But Quinto, I know you. I know who that is. I know who that is.
Quinto, she's the one that asked you to match her contribution.
Yeah, I know who she is. I know who she is. I think I know who she is.
She wants you to match her contribution.
She got her passport through the our program too, right?
Yes, that's great.
Yeah,
but I'm asking you, does she want you to match her contribution?
I don't know what her contribution was.
No, you just said somebody asked you to match their contribution.
How about if you match? She said, yeah, that's Quinto, yeah.
Please match her contribution, I beg.
What was her contribution?
$2,500.
Okay. Here's right here. Here we go. Go ahead.
Peace, family. How is everybody doing? Now, I was messing with you with saying go ahead and match me. You don't
match it too. Yeah, we want people to match it. $2,500. Yeah, y'all match that.
Oh, she can already say it while I was getting on here. No, I was just being funny. But really, what I will say is match in the energy that is going towards this, because this is a remembrance, a coming together of who we are. Because if we don't remember who we are or who we were, we won't remember who we are. We won't know who to be. So this is a very powerful piece. It's with the acting of it. The encouragement is, as we watch the actors, that we remember to be. Because sometimes in life, when we were younger, our mothers would say, go in the store and don't act this way. Something I started doing with my children was not to say, don't act. I want you to be. Remember who you are. So be respectful, be kind, because we're not doing an act here. So I'm excited about this. I love my sister Dory, and I'm just grateful for how our ancestors collectively bring us together for this moment. While you said, Dinus, you said something along the lines of the kind of like the void between us is growing. I actually feel like it's coming together. It's challenging, especially with Sierra Leone, more than some other West African countries. It's challenging. However, we have tower moments sometimes where things kind of burn down, so a foundation can be reset. And this is just one of those times. So we just got to do the work. But the end is beautiful.
Okay, yeah. Guys, Mr. Nimba, you need to connect your device. Your device isn't connected. Hey, so one of my guests that came with me, he has a crush on you.
On Aya?
Aya, he has a crush. Like he has a crush on you. He was there doing your group.
Okay, tell him
jokes.
Where you go awesome. You know what he can do?
What can he do?
That is so awesome. He can support the song of Njama. That's what he can do. That would be so impressive. I would be greatly impressed. Like, wow, that would just mean something.
Yeah. He said he has a crush. He has a crush on you.
What? Hey, that's wonderful. So let's get this working.
I'm just letting him know.
Dinus probably has a crush on you.
Oh, well, I mean, if it's you, then we'll go back to my original statement. Let's match that contribution.
Hey, Scott, unmute yourself, Em.
Thank you, sir. I got two questions for the guest. if
Go
I
ahead.
can. Number one, do you feel obligated to disregard our slavery past? And number two, why should we as Black Americans continue to break our backs and break our bank accounts to reach out to Africa when Africa don't even so much to put up a billboard in our community?
Hey, go get Desmond. I'm gonna tell Desmond he to put up a billboard. Go get Desmond right now. Go get Desmond.
Put up a billboard.
Go get Desmond. Go get Desmond right now. We gonna put him on a hot seat. Go get Desmond.
So I mean, I'm not sure who you expect to answer that. You said as us Americans. Well, you said as us Americans. I'm an African person that was born and raised in America that reveres my ancestors worldwide. And one thing that I know is that this whole realm is worth redeeming. So the head dash heart is Africa, but where the head goes, the body follows. So there's not one side to be on. What we need to do is come to Ma'at, is come to balance. So for those who say things like, forget America, the divided snakes, I'm never stepping foot on that soil again, that's ridiculous. For those who say, forget Africa, Africa ain't never done nothing for us, that's also ridiculous. So once you realize that it's actually a little kind of lower perspective to say we're from Africa, what we really are is star seeds. That's what we are. We were sent to this planet to redeem this planet. We were sent here to learn. Okay, so right now, those of us who function on a God frequency are here as redeemers of this whole realm. So I don't need to heavily place my focus on anti-America or anti-Africa. What I place my focus on is being a redeemer, and anything else is not even really worth debating about because it's imbalanced. And what we do as Ma'atic individuals is come to a balance.
Can I reiterate the question?
If
I can, I'm not going to take over the show though. You got a host right there. If you say okay, you can't do it, you can't do it. If I can I rephrase my question?
You can go ahead.
Or respond.
Go ahead, rephrase your question.
Okay. So you said you are African and yet you're in America. Like there's a whole transition that got you to that point, and then there was another transition that got you to where you are now as far as freedom, and it had to do with bloodshed that particularly Black men in America had to shed a lot of blood to get you off the plantation. So where do Africa play a part in that? Like how did Africa contribute to you being free, and what debt, how do you feel you owe them over your people that got you off the plantation?
So you just used some words like over, and the blood was shed here, particularly by men. The first shedding of blood is always the divine feminine, is always the divine mother.
I mean, we had to kill a lot of white people.
Whether we look at that as Mother Africa or whether we look at that from the divine wombs from whence we came, we don't do patriarchy, we don't do matriarchy. Once again, we do balance. So I know in America right now, we're dealing with a comprehension crisis. So if you understand anything I just said, it came to balance, and it was not dismissing my ancestors that were put in chains and taken on the good ship Jesus and brought across to this land. And it doesn't dismiss any of my ancestors that shed their blood right here in this land that I also revere and honor, because again, this whole realm needs redeeming. Africa was the foundation of civilization. And where the head goes, the body follows. So if you can comprehend that there's not an either or, it's a both and, because I'm Ma'atic, so we do balance.
Okay. How many white people did Africans kill to get you free?
How many white people did Africans kill to get me free?
To get you free.
Do you mean what?
How many people? How many wars did they wage to get you free?
Actually, they waged a lot of wars. And if you mean whites as in white skin, they waged a lot of wars. The first wars were fought right on the.
I mean, your particular
right
genetics.
Wait a minute, you asked the question. Did you want to hear the answer, or did you want to keep hearing yourself speak?
Go ahead. I'm going to get off though.
Okay. So history, our story, actually, not his story, our story lets us know that after some of those kings who were deceived, who were coerced, and some who were just downright rotten and selfish, some who sold other Africans into enslavement, that after they realized what enslavement meant to Yorugu, to those devoid of spirit, and that men, women, and children were being raped, and that they were building their churches on top of where they slaughtered us. Once they realized what enslavement meant to the white person, because that didn't mean what it meant to us in our brains, because we didn't have such a wicked concept. So once they found out what that meant, the first rebellions were fought on the shores of Africa, but it was too late. And one of the reasons why it was too late is because before the European enslaved us, before the Arab enslaved us, one of the problems that we had was divisiveness, was us being divided, was getting the idea in our heads that men were a little bit above women, was getting the idea in our heads that this group of original human African was a little bit better than another group of original human African. So once we deal with our problems and once we stop being so divided and understand who we are, then nothing can stop us. Where there's no enemy within, there's no enemy without. So if you look at our story, you'll know how far we've been fighting this, but the biggest fight is us dealing with ourselves. We need to understand and not be divided.
Kidola, go ahead, Kidola, unmute yourself.
Oh, thank you, Dennis. You know, I like what I'm hearing and everything. But I also want to go to this, I'll ask the two sister questions. You see, we had this before from a guy called Tariq Rashid. He was a strong Pan-African, Pan-Africanism. What I'm scared of, do you think a few years from now, you people will turn against African, just like the way Tariq Rashid turned against African, and make fun of African and mock African? Apart from him alone, we see other ones that came to Africa that do a 360 U-turn and call Africans, the Africans, no, they're not like Africans, and Africa is never like that. So I just want to know if 10 years from now or 5 years from now, if things will change for them again. Thank you very much.
I can answer and then Aya can go. For me, sir, I've last week I just celebrated my 16th wedding anniversary with my husband from Sierra Leone. So I'm home. I don't foresee me being like the guy that you mentioned. I don't know who that is. But for me, I'm home. Aya.
Well, I do know who that is. And as far as the future, one thing that I notice about how the Most High Mother and Father works is that it's typically done in a remnant. And it's not done by people who have been seeking limelight, people who have been seeking to make a name for themselves. So really, I don't even worry about what somebody else may do or how they may flip-flop on you in the next 5 years, 10 years, whatever. We're on divine assignment. So those of us who understand who we are, there is no flip-flopping. We are who we are. So, you know, those of us who aren't led by whoever is popular at the time or whoever has the loudest voice, but whoever has the rooted spiritual voice and whoever's heart is correct. Like those are the people who we look to for inspiration and encouragement. So we're not flip-flopping. So it don't matter what else anybody else does.
Yes, we're here.
All right, Africa, go ahead.
Yeah, greetings to to you guys, sis and Dinus. Yeah, it's nice to see sisters coming over, and I think we need more sisters coming over than some of these guys who pretend to be Pan-Africans and obviously coming just to go back to the States and pretend to be with us, but really they're not. I understand, Kidola. I understand your concern, but the reality is you're gonna get people like that. The world that we're living in, you're gonna, no matter how many people you have out there, you're gonna get some wrong uns. But the main points I'm going to add here is that people in the diaspora, African Americans or Caribbeans coming to Sierra Leone is nothing new, and going to Liberia is nothing new. And for them to, do more in-depth research of their ancestral home. That's very welcoming. And also if people want to come, for any type of reason, whether it's spiritually, financially, whatever reason they want to come to the continent of Africa, is the ancestral home. I mean, how many people are coming to Africa as we speak? That not actually have any, that have no connection to the continent. Most of the time I fly into Africa, you have the plane full of, non-African people, but when they live in Africa, the plane is full of African people.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So we need a lot of sisters, brothers and sisters. We need the good ones, back in the diaspora, to connect to the people. And also, to be honest with you, the Pan-Africanism and our history need to be taught. Our people in the continent. I mean, Dory, for example, you're in Sierra Leone. Not a lot of people know the Sierra Leone history itself. When I was young, we used to learn a lot about Sierra Leone history. But today, I doubt if it's actually in the curriculum. I come from a family who invested a lot in that country when it comes to education. Okay, I have, senior politicians who actually went to my parents' school in that country. And, our parents made sure they invested a lot in education, to advance, our people's future. And I mean, that's very welcoming, for you guys to go there and educate a lot of our young sisters, our mothers to come to the continent and learn from, from the history. And Sierra Leone is one of the best place to go, if you want to learn about the African American or the Afro Caribbean history, is the best place to go and start. It's a good starting point. I said that the last time. And you can see, if you go around Freetown, you can see the landmark of the Maroons, and also the tiny minority of African Americans who joined them, from Nova Scotia and so on. It's still there.
Yeah.
And for a fact those people manage to assimilate well in the society based on the type of people we are. We are very accommodating, compared to Liberia and So I mean, come to Sierra Leone, come and get your Sierra Leone passports, do some investment in the country. There's a lot of potential in that country. And we're just recovering from a war. Time will tell. That's why we say in Creole, time will tell. There's a lot of potential. So I don't know what you're doing at the moment, but I tell you what, if you are into agriculture, as you said, in the northern provinces, in the southeastern provinces, there's a lot of potential.
Yes.
And we're importing. I was looking at some programs. Sorry?
I'm sorry. Are you here now? You're in Sierra Leone now?
I'm not there, but I do go there every 3 years. Every 3 years I do go there because I got a family over here in the UK. I live in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, I live in the UK, but I go there every 3 years, and I have people that I employed, and I got people that I look after, and I try my bit. Mm-hmm. And as soon as my kids get to a certain level of education, because unfortunately the education system is not as robust as it used to be, I will migrate. I'll take them with me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, sister, please, I want to apologize to you. The sister that's married for 16 years, I just want to apologize to you. I didn't mean what the question asked.
Right.
I didn't mean to offend you or wherever. I'm very glad. Congratulations for your marriage. I think you're not even American anymore. But being with an African might take a lot of strength. It's a lot of complications. You have to be a little bit patient and everything.
Nice one,
congratulations for your marriage. You're born like a Sierra Leone now that American. Let me just put it like that. So congratulations, please. I don't mean to offend you people. Yeah. I just asked a question.
No. No,
I have a very big respect. I have very big respect for you, Paul. I just want to say.
There's no offense taken. I think when I told my story before, the first time that I came to Sierra Leone, I went to Bunce Island, which is a slave fort. Everything that I was taught in America about oh, they sold you, they did this, they never did that. In that one visit, it just changed everything that I thought I knew. From that point, it has been my mission to tell the other side of the story, because I know that I am not the only one who heard the story of the people that took us from our land, right? And so when you do that, and especially I think you talked about Sierra Leone, and I think the other brother that left, he had said about the wars and when did they come from us. Sierra Leone is a part of the transatlantic slave trade and colonization in 4 areas. First, yes, enslavement happened here. They were the first country in all of Africa to welcome us back as African Americans, people who were in Nova Scotia, wherever you were, they
Right.
welcomed you back. Maroons. The third part was they also, when slavery was abolished and it was against the law, it was illegal to come here and take people from West Africa, right? They were the first
Right.
country that intercepted these illegal cargo ships leaving here. And so this is why when you say Sierra Leone is accommodating, you have Nigerians, you have Congos, you have people from Gabon, you have all of these different nationalities
Right.
in Sierra Leone, because the slave ships that were still taking our people from here, they intercepted them to make sure that they cannot leave. They couldn't take them back to Gabon. They couldn't take them back to Nigeria. They couldn't take them back to the Congo. And so they are here. And so this is why we say that we are accommodating. And so the fourth thing that Sierra Leone was one of the first countries to do, and we should be proud of it, they did the reparative justice when they are inviting us back home. They may not have, they may not completely get it or understand, but this is who we are. This is the people that we are to bridge that gap. And so if you do live in the UK and you want your children to be able to come home, they can do that, and you're not missing a beat. But who we are, our identity is made up in the distortion of a lie or the truth that has been taught to us. And so that is what I'm hoping the Song of Njama does for us.
Well done. Yeah, absolutely. And this is why, sister, most of the time when I'm here on this platform, you probably follow it sometime. I argue with people. And I feel like they're so ungrateful to that small, tiny country. And
Mhm.
you just mentioned William Wilberforce. He's the one that actually went and built the fort. When we contributed, we actually, Sierra Leone, people don't understand this. Sierra Leone was part of Guinea, Republic of Guinea, surrounded by the country. It was
Mhm.
taken out, it was carved out, and people were added on to that land from all over the world. And that's when I say, when people talk about who lost their life fighting the Europeans, people don't understand the great man like Sengbe Pierre, Baibure, late Almami Samori-Toure, Alpha Diallo, all the way. These are the guys that we know as the real original Pan Africans who actually laid their life for black people and black freedom, including those that you see in that region today. And these are known, respected figures. So we have tried our best. We know our people and we value our people and we value ourselves. That kind of manifests in us as people globally. And it's all about valuing yourself. Take some pride in you. Stop attaching yourself to other people.
Yeah.
Know who you are. But yeah, I
Yes.
appreciate the work that you're doing, sis. Both of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. Links in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, you can. And for people who are new, I'm going to play the trailer. Oh, here goes Prince. Oh boy, go ahead, Prince.
Yeah, hello there, Dennis. Hello to the guest, two lovely ladies.
Hi, how are you?
Yep, remind me some of my aunties back home in Ghana. It's always refreshing for me as a native Ashanti man when I see brothers and sisters have an interest on the continent. It's something that hits me right in my heart. And as an Ashanti, nowadays, I've got to take a lot of stick because people automatically think, oh, Ashanti gets sold everybody into slavery. which is something that disturbs me. But if I can just make my contribution here by saying, I hope the way to bring the women contribution is a real one, because women have always been at the heart of what we do. But in Africa, it is always done in order. You know, we have women who step to the front, literally save empires, like Yaa Santo and so on. You know, so when I see our elder mothers here in America from Jamaica, I see that trait is naturally within us. You know, but I always remind our ladies, especially those who don't know of the African culture, that there is a role, that a man is still the head, right? But there is a role for the woman, right? A very powerful role. The reason why I say this is because I often get worried, because a lot of our sisters, when they come back, they confuse feminism with the way the women's role is in Africa. So I guess especially when I hear the Egyptology, which is all well and good. I'm a Bible-based man, but it's all well and good. But there is a role, and I guess I get worried because these Westerners often start things like this, but in the background you see that they got the agenda of the feminism coming through, the lesbianism coming through, and we just got to be aware of this. From Black Lives Matter that was hijacked, all the way to they've always got that agenda. And they're hell bent on pushing it onto Africa in particular, because in our society we really don't allow that. Okay, so I'm just worried. I hope this is not something in the end that is somehow, you know, where they got their fingers in it, and then later on we were regretting it. But if it's from a genuine place, I love it. I always want to hear what the sisters up to. But we were put on a slave ship together. We were colonized together, and we're gonna come out of this together. So I hope it is not along the line something to do with separating the man from the woman and uplifting the woman above the man. I hope that's not what's happening. So that's my only little contribution there. That's my only concern. So yeah, that's all I have to say to it.
Thank you. So let me go first, and then I'll let Aya go because I'll be real quick. Like I said, when I came to Sierra Leone in 2019, the way of the West and the patriarchal system of the West, when I came to Sierra Leone, I found that is not our way. Aya said, she talked about the Ma'at. That is an imbalance. And so me and my husband are in balance. He is not ahead of me. I am not ahead of him. Some days I may have to lead, and some days he might have to fall back. Some days he may have to lead, and then I have to fall back. But we are always in balance. I have gifts that will protect my husband. I will walk into a room and he is talking to someone, and I would tell him, no, that person is not for us. And he listens to me because we are in balance. So he does not rule me. He does not control me. We live together in harmony because we are in balance. Go ahead, Aya.
Ashe. So to reiterate what Dory said, you spoke of two ideals that came from Europeanism, patriarchy and feminism. They both come from Europeanism and European centricism. So the African way, as Dory said, is complementarity. It's balance. There is not a man that can be my head because there is no blockage between me and the Most High. I cannot be head of any man because there should be no blockage between him and the Most High. So once we understand our roles as partner and we throw away these Europeanized concepts, then we're actually in proper function. Feminism was because in European society, the white men were oppressive to white women. When we reach back before Arab invasion of Africa, of Kemet, you mentioned Egypt, it was called Kemet, the land of the blacks. So when we reach back, we do find that our men were not over us. They were not seeking to dominate us or control us. Men are protective in a certain way, just like women are protective in a certain way. Because this realm, this earth, that's why we call it Mother Earth, is feminine. There's certain womb wisdom, intuition that women have. And when a man is wise enough to listen to that, then they're in the right direction. When a woman is wise enough to listen to a man, to follow the lead in the areas where he is strong, then we're going in the right direction. So to say, well, you know, man is the head, that's from European thought. That's not from our thought.
No.
So, and I understand you're saying you're Bible-based. I used to be Bible-based, and now I'm Afro-centric. So let me say real quick. Let me finish this one statement. Something I believe it was Nana John Henrik Clark, one of our esteemed ancestors, said, "I'm not trying to tell you to throw away your religion. You can keep your religion all you want to, but make sure your religion is in service of your freedom, is in service of your power." So once you go through your religion and understand some tools of divisiveness that were put in there to dominate and control the African mind, if you can undo that, then you can keep your religion. Because also in the Bible, it says women be subject to men, but it also says that we should be subject to each other. So that sounds more divine. So let's follow that scripture where we're subject to the wisdom that each other has.
Brilliant.
No. In order to get started,
absolutely brilliant.
Just to answer that, first of all, it is not a European concept. The Bible is not a European at all. It was taken by Europeans. Okay, it's not European. And if you're into Egypt, you should know that Moses was brought up in all the ways of the Egyptians. He was very much a black man, brought up in a royal household. Okay, everything started in the greatest of black, which was Egypt. So on that, so I understand where you're coming from, sister. Also, my way in studying the history of Egypt, I know very much that and being an Ashanti man, that is very much the man in charge. But the woman is the backbone. As explained the Santua story. When the empire was down on his knees, she the one who got them come up again. Unfortunately, the men had fought so many wars and we couldn't no longer stand the power of the guns and the cannons, the new technology that was coming in, that eventually we were subdued. And I hear what you're saying, sis. There's no abusive, I'm not talking about an abusive man or anything, but what I'm saying is that when there's a problem in one household to the other, when the men come to solve the problem, the first thing they ask is the men of the house. That's what they ask for. And then the woman will come. So there is order, but it is not the European concept. Do I understand where you're coming from? It's just that I'm always skeptical. Whenever it becomes like a women thing, okay, that I'm always worried about the influence of what the Europeans are trying to push, the LGBTs, the removal of the man at the head, so that they can get in and influence us, as they've done in the West. We could see it. They've been trying to penetrate African society for some time, whichever way they can do it. And sometimes they use our celebrities to show it. They will have a Rihanna who is Egyptian based, who makes sure all her pictures, she's in front of the man, and the man's carrying the baby behind the background. So those are the reasons why I'm always skeptical and double checking. But apart from that, I love what you ladies are doing.
I think your skepticism is appropriate and it makes sense. Just take your skepticism a little further. Take your skepticism and question why you're using the word Egypt to describe Kemet, which, like I said, was land of the black.
Yeah,
Egypt is a word that was a mistranslation of one of the symbols in Kemet. So to say that the Bible is, it's not a European concept, as I said, there are certain themes in the Bible that were intentionally put in there. Look at the Council of Nicaea 325 AD. When the Roman Constantine, sir, wait a minute, Lester, you talked about order, so there was no interruption on your part. So let's maintain order. So when you look at the Bible, when you study our story, you're not supposed to, you can't use a text to validate the text. So when you go back into our story and you look at the term Christ, which was KRST, which is a Kemetic term, it was taken, it was Europeanized, it was sold back to us to mean one person. So yeah, there are definitely themes in the Bible that are Europeanized, because the first thing that they did, so the first thing to be skeptical of is the person that comes into an older civilization. We are the ancient ones. We've been on this planet eons before Europeans showed up on this planet. So if you look at the first resurrection story,
we're going away from the point. What I'm trying to say is I'm raised as an Ashanti from a royal household.
That's awesome. I'm raised as a melanated divine person. So you being Ashanti does not give you any authority
Nobody
over
can't
me.
give
That's
me.
a beautiful thing to
Hear me
know
out,
who you are.
Mr.
So what
Sister.
I'm saying is, which is one of the cardinal rules at the temple in Kemet, the temple of Luxor, is know yourself. Know yourself and
I
you'll
hear
know
you,
the
sister.
universe and the divine. So
I'm
go
not
back
trying to.
before us, John C. Go all the way back to our Nile Valley civilizations where we practice our spiritual sciences that connected us to this universe before a religion was given.
Yeah, I'm trying not to make it a religious thing, but if we have to go there, I'm very good at it. I don't want to go there because I
You
don't want to take
started
away
by
from the
saying the
subject.
Bible. So you initiated
No,
the religious
no,
conversation. You said, hey, I'm a Bible man, and the
yeah,
Bible says that the
yeah.
man is the head. So now
Because
you can't say,
I'm
well,
trying
I'm
to
not trying to go there when
I
that's
know that, but you
exactly where
putting it
you
there. I'm
went.
trying
We
to bring it
followed
back
you.
in.
No,
Yeah, I'm
brother,
This is
we
why
followed
this
you. I didn't bring religion into this. You did.
okay.
sister,
That's what I'm
sister,
trying
this
to
is the
do.
problem.
Let's do
This
this.
is
We're
the
gonna take a
problem
quick
we're facing in the
commercial. Hold on,
country.
Africa. We're taking a quick commercial break. We're gonna
Diners.
play the trailer to
All right.
Song and Njama. Then we'll come back and I'll let God's gift come on and ask his question.
You have 3 generations to end what I have begun. Only a son or daughter must hear your song in the land I now rule. If they fail, as you know, Njama will be swallowed by time and lost forever.
No! What have I done?
All right, go ahead, God's gift. Luke, I gotta pass the mic. Go ahead, God's gift.
Hello. Okay. Hello. Yes, I just wanted to say how good it is to see women on the panel, and I mean, there should be more women coming through on the panels and expressing their viewpoints as well, so we can understand their perspectives on our current situation in a global world. So yes, I do think more women should be participating, so we can get their dynamics as well, you know. And I think it's an absolute great thing, you know, because women have always been the pillar of our communities. You know, there's an old saying. Behind every great man, there's a great woman. So I'm sure you've all heard of that saying there. You know, behind every great man, there's a great woman who's the backbone. You know, and that goes the same for communities as well. You know, in our communities, women play a major role. But unfortunately, what's happened is that, you know, the imperialists have started to use our women, you know, use our women against us, basically. So that's you can use an example of this as someone like such as Kimmy from the UK, the Conservative PM. You know, so basically we have to be careful. We have to be careful where we're treading, you know, because these imperialists, any opportunity that they do get to exploit us, they will use that to their advantage. And unfortunately, you know, most of our women have, you know, slided where they've, you know, got caught up, where they're being used, you know, being used in agendas which don't benefit us as a people, you know, on a global economic scene. So yeah, what I have to say is well done to the women for their contribution. I think it's absolutely fantastic. We need more women participating. You know, it needs to be. You know, there's another saying: 2 eyes are better than 1. 2 eyes are better than 1. So we need to work together in order. And women play a major role. They do play a major role, and we need to work together in order to come out from this abyss, this hole that we've been put into. You know, we need to really work together, and we can do it. We can do it. We are making progress, but more needs to be done. And the men as well, I have to say, men as well, we have to step up. You know, we as men, we have to step up and protect our women, you know, from getting used, onto getting used into imperialist agendas. So we as men, we have to step up and do our part as well, you know, and protect our women. You know, we have to do more to protect our women. So that's all I wanted to say. So, you know, big up to the women there for their work and their contribution.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, my brother from the UK. I mean, we all know, for example, you know, my sister Dory, you know, I don't know if you know that, but after the war in Sierra Leone, it was the women that came together who actually rebuilt the society. You know, the men were nowhere to be found. You know, they're the one that brought the society back together, and you know, from the scratch. So we do need women. They're very important in our society. In fact, they were mothers, they are our sisters, they are aunties, they are grandmothers. So the only thing is, you know, the world that we're living in, and throughout, if you look at throughout history, women should be equal to men, you know, as a team player. You know, a man should be a team player to the man. We shouldn't be looking at them as some form of object where I'll be like, oh, we have to be dominant, or the woman have to be dominant. You know, as what she was saying earlier. You know, if you have a woman where you have that level playing field, then you're blessed. You know, it's a woman that understands that boundaries and the level playing field, and also a woman that understands the culture, that want to preserve it. You know, and you know that's what we're talking about here. You know, like for example, you know, I do draw back to my home country, just like everybody. You know, we know for a fact, you know, we did suffer a lot. You know, a country that went through a war, you know, and have to build back from scratch. You will understand what the role of a woman is. You know how important it is. Trust me, it's very, very important. Because you know, men, we actually out there. You know, we've got so many egos and all this fake pride and stuff like that. But women can actually, you know, they're more sophisticated in terms of the way they think. 100%. No, I agree with you, my British brother. And Kemi, she's not the good example of a black woman, you know, at all. I totally agree with you. And she got her own agenda, and I think the agenda she got is basically very tribal based. She is obviously married into a different culture, you know, and obviously she have made a choice. You know, what they said, you make your bed, you lay in it, right? So that's what she's doing. So you cannot, you know, criticize her. She made a choice. She preferred to be the white man, and she's fighting for the white cause, so she can get somewhere, you know, to be recognized in the white world. So that's what
she's a coon.
Yeah, she's a coon. Yeah. Bless her. I just wanted to for my sake. Well, yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, she's a coon.
She's a coon. That's the sort of people we got to be aware of. Do you know that they knew that this argument that came forth with the UN regarding the slavery coming up was something that they knew was coming up, because it was put forth a long time ago. It was put forth under Nana Addo's administration. So they knew that this thing was coming up. From CARICOM to African Union, we were working on this with all the black societies, and they knew the time when it was going to come up, because they've got sessions when they do this. So when Muhammad's time came and they put it forward, this woman, who's the blackest of the quintessential black woman, when you look at her, from West Africa out of all places, was the first one to open a big gob and say she would never, because they used the wicked conservative people who had most of the slave plantations and the colonial masters, they used her to give that message to the world. So that's how they like to work. So what I'm saying is that, like I said, I'm not against anybody, but I am fully aware, having lived in this country for 40 years, how these people operate in the higher echelons and the lower echelons, right? They reflect it back on you. So I'm always wary. I'm not against women, okay, but I know the role that women have. From my grandmother who raised me, who told me when I was a kid getting on a plane to come to England that the land you're going to is not your country. Before I saw any, that's what she told me. She was a grandmother, okay? She was a child. She was born, I think, 15 years after the Santua Wars. Yeah, because it was Santua Wars in the late 19th century. We were the last ones to fight these English people, where the empire was already down, right? Because she knew she was not going to have that status, she went and lifted up the men. But by the time it was a little bit too late, and she herself went into things. So I understand exactly from that experience what the women role basically is. Okay, so but with Kemi, she gets it straight up a sellout. They know that they can't put the men, we could spot the men, but the women, okay, because they know that we hesitate to attack our women.
Louis, I'll bet to differ. I'll bet you to differ. I bet to differ that it's not just a woman. It's not just a woman.
Hey, guys. So we have a guest, special guest. You know, this is a debate between Prince Louis and Africa.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. No, well, I was just saying we have that even men's are just as bad. You know, we have men who are just as good as a woman. So she's not doing.
Can you ask our guest a question about her play?
Oh yeah.
What's going on? You guys arguing about Kimmy in the UK. Go ahead.
Well, but what I was going to ask her is, what can you do in terms of helping, in terms of history? I mean, have you been in touch with the Minister of Education in terms of, revitalizing some of our curriculums in history? Because, we can, off camera, I can give you some details, and in the future, we do have, a lot of educational institutions in the country where I think, if you can get enough people, who want to settle there, I don't know about being, full-time paid, but it'd be really helpful for some of you guys to contact the Minister of Education and see how you can actually advance, in bringing a new curriculum in terms of teaching the younger generation of Sierra Leoneans about their history, because they don't really know their history in Sierra Leone. The play that you're doing, like stuff like that, could actually help elevate that also, where you can actually be in contact with different schools, because we do have good institutions. And also to start, you probably could start with the University of Forobe College, and so where you can actually work with the Minister of Education. And I think I know the guy who is the Minister of Education. You probably could be in touch and see if you can introduce. Sorry,
Minister Saki.
Yeah, I think it's Saki, and yes, I think he is a minister.
Yeah, this play, the type of play that my play falls under cultural preservation, and so it runs more in alignment to civic education, and so that would be Minister of Information and Civic Education, which is
Chernobyl. Yes.
So yes, we have definitely reached out to him and to hopefully explain how this play should be some kind of way put into the curriculum, because it is definitely a culture preservation. As you said, Sierra Leone is still taught history through the lens of the colonizer, and we find that same type of history being taught in America as well. And so until we actually come together and create some type of curriculum that would benefit those that are still of this soil and those taken from this soil, we'll always have these type of conversations where we're where we're finding ways to divide ourselves from each other. And so we have to take our story back. It has to be stories for us, by us, not stories that are for us and not by us. So we just have to keep that in mind, especially when we start talking about other people who may have gone astray. And so when you look at it, even on the plantation, there was always somebody that if we're planning to escape tonight, it's going to be somebody in the bunch that's going to say, hey, massa, they leaving tonight, right? And so this is nothing new.
I like that.
It's nothing new, but like they say, when somebody show you who they are, believe them the first time. And so when we would see somebody that moves the way, I think he said her name is Cam.
Kemi Sebak.
Is her name Sebak or something?
Kemi Badenoch.
Right. So when you see somebody move like that, you're cordial to that person, and you just keep going, because you already know you and that person, you will never be in alignment. You will forever lose your energy trying to have that person see through the lens of working together and elevating our own story, because the way they tell it, we had civilization. We weren't savages. We had civilizations. We had trade routes. We had universities. We had all of these things before they came. They did not bring us anything new. And so until we start teaching our children from that viewpoint, instead of that somebody had to come in and save us, and when USA was cut out here, everybody had a fit. Why? Let's find ways that we can support ourselves. When we finally stand up and say, no, we are the only people that we need each other. And how do we go forward that way? And everybody is not going to agree with us. And that's just life. And so you don't really pay that person too much attention. And another thing about, I feel, in Sierra Leone, we always focus on problem. We stay too long in problem and not enough time in solution. So you say what that problem is. Okay, now what's the solution to that problem?
Thanks. I have a question for you, Madam Turay. Dinus asked you what were some of your challenges with this production in Sierra Leone. So what are some of your victories and inspirations so far with this process?
The victories, for sure, bringing the community, seeing the youth. The cast is 95% of the youth. They all sign contracts. I give them transport every day to make sure that everybody can make it to the rehearsal. They are great. They try. And so that would be a victory. The National Dance Troupe coming on board. That would be a victory. People really coming around the story. They're praying for me, saying, hey, we're praying for you. We're praying for this show. Don't be nervous. We're going to do our best. You'll see. And just to know that I don't want to let them down as much as they don't want to let me down. I'm about to cry. But so by far, that would be the victory. Getting hugs every night. That is just the victory. And to know that we are putting this story out, and it's a story of us. It's our story. And it's just, like I say, it's my love letter to Sierra Leone. It's my love letter to my ancestors who have brought me back to the place that I was taken from. And so that is definitely my victory. Like I said, the biggest challenge, of course, is finances. Anything. If you're doing a production of this magnitude, of course, it's finances. So that would be it. Thank you for my question.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I understand, obviously, you're building a foundation at the moment, but I'm just thinking, is there any plans to transfer this onto other countries around the region, and just make it a more expandable, because it's an absolute great thing you're doing, and I think more women from other countries will benefit greatly through this as well. So do you have any plans to expand this across the board?
I do. And so definitely I've been in talks with a couple of theaters in America to bring it to America in summer 2027. The choreographer is from the UK. His name is Dr. Harold Patton. He is a Jamaican West African choreographer. And so he has even shown interest to see how can we move it from Sierra Leone to the UK, and of course other countries within West Africa within itself as well. So yes, we definitely do. We are definitely trying to bring it out because this is our story. It's written for us, by us, and so it's our story. So it definitely needs to go out. I think you're muted.
Yeah, God's gift, you're muted. God's gift, you're muted.
Oh, thank you. I think that's fantastic. Thank you very much for that info. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Any more questions?
Yeah, Louis, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I was going to ask, have you approached the Sierra Leone education office to see if they can support you, or you just went ahead and done it with private money?
So today we just received our first endorsement, partnership, sponsorship from the Ministry of Tourism and Culture. And so we are in talks with the Minister of Information and Civic Education.
Civic education.
Yes.
I know him very well, actually.
Trying about, okay, good. So maybe you can send a word out. Say, hey, I was listening to this woman. She has this play. So that would be good. Any help, any connections people have, that would be great.
I try and get hold of his I try and do some network to get hold of him. If I speak to him, he will heavily consider it. I mean, Sierra Leone is a good starting point, but also I think the next door neighbor, even though it's a French-speaking country, Guinea is actually heavily invested in culture at the moment. Very, very much invested in culture, and in fact, the Minister of Culture is actually been renowned in the region, for been doing a lot of transformation, and the government is putting a lot of money in it. So I don't know what network you got or what you can do to expand to the neighboring country, because Guinea is known for their culture. In fact, when it comes to culture, they're very more cultural people than us in Sierra Leone. And they're very more Afrocentric. It's one country you would go, you will hardly see people wear Western clothes or wear the African clothing, for example. And this artistic, like this kind of thing that you do, like theater and all this stuff, they're very known for that. They're very known for this kind of thing because they got like they got what they call the ballet in Guinea, which is like a top-notch thing for the middle class. They tend to attend it a lot. So I think you can actually, because when I was in Guinea, I saw that's where I saw this thing more bigger than Sierra Leone. To be honest, yeah.
But so for me, because my ancestor brought me back to Sierra Leone, and
well, your name Toure. You see, the thing is, you I know you probably quite new, but Sierra Leone, Guinea, they're the same people, man. They're the same people.
Yeah, no, my husband's last name is Turay.
Yeah. Okay.
So are you the Sierra Leonean? Are you the Sierra Leonean?
Yeah, I'm Sierra Leone. Okay. My mother is Mandinka. My father is Fula.
Did you have you lived in Sierra Leone?
Yeah, I'm from my parents are originally from the north, from Kabbalah, but I was grew up in
here. Have you ever
I lived there, of course. Yeah, of course. I grew up in my younger days. I lived in Freetown. I grew up in Kono district, the diamond mining district of Sierra Leone. And I grew up in.
The reason why I asked you, and why I'm so passionate about this play. My name is Dory, right?
Okay.
And do you know the song Dory Oh Dory?
Dory is mainly from the people from the eastern region of Sierra Leone. That's where you find that name more. We do have the name.
But do you know this song?
Yeah, I heard of it. Yeah.
So Dory oh Dory, Dory Mama Kura, Mama Kura.
Yeah.
And so for me, and I think a lot of African Americans who were disconnected from the soil, when you have songs and you have these things that are here already, right? To let you know, like, you are where you are supposed to be. And that song always, whenever somebody says my name and they sing this song, like I said, I don't know how long you were here, but for the most part, everybody knows that song. And so this is something to let me know, like, yes, I have a DNA certificate that says I am a descendant of a Mende woman from present day Sierra Leone. But there's also a song that says my name in it. I can go on and on about coincidences to let me know I'm where I'm supposed to be and where the story should be put on. So eventually, yes, I would love to go to Guinea, Liberia, Ivory Coast, wherever, Burkina Faso, whoever wants to play. We are definitely open to that. But for this, right now, this is where it's going to be put on.
And Ms. Dawn, if I can ask, Tori, if I can ask, do you, how long you been in Africa now?
Since 2019.
All right, okay. Do you feel or do you think that the story of our people in the Western world, do you think that has been told enough to the African people on the continent in terms of the younger generation? Do you feel it has been, because coming from Ghana, I only left there when I was 10, so the rest of the curriculum, I know they pretty much didn't talk much about it until you got to maybe just before the university level or so on, because they were so close, the government didn't want to divide tribes up and so on because we were so affected by it in that way. Do you think the time has come for, because there's something I'm going to be fighting for, which is for the curriculum in our schools, for slavery in particular, not just slavery or transatlantic, but the real history of slavery as well, with the Arab slave trade, that to be taught in African curriculum, because I think that time has come. For us to move forward, we've got to be taught it.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe that you cannot, I think as far as, to me, you have to start with the transatlantic slave trade, in my opinion. That is where you see the most horrific of the chattel slavery. So you would have to start, in my opinion, the transatlantic slave trade. I don't think that we stay there long, but we also just need to let them know that we have civilization, that yes, this was a interruption in our lineage, but it does not define us, and that we did not need anybody to come and save us. We did not need anybody then to come and save us, and we don't need anybody now to come and save us. There is nobody superior than us. We are not inferior. We don't need anybody to feed us. As A has said, we are one of the oldest civilizations in this whole entire world. And so when we know that as a people, we just stumbled on our path, on our lineage, and so it's up to us that are awakened to set that story back right, to try to bridge that gap, to create bridges instead of division.
Right. I mean, Louis. Sorry, sis. Louis, where I understand what you mean about teaching the trans-Saharan slave trade. Yeah, a lot of people in the West African region, in like the Muslim West Africa, they know well aware of the trans-Saharan slavery, and you'd be surprised. A lot of people do know, especially from the children of the Mali Empire. But the only difference between the transatlantic slavery and the trans-Saharan slavery, the trans-Saharan slavery, it was a two-way slavery. Okay, there was white people that were brought to the Sahel from what you call Turkey and the other part of the world, and also the black people.
It wasn't for 5 years, bro. So that one day.
Yes, yeah. But it was a two-way stream. Okay, but the transatlantic slavery was a one-way stream, and it was based on color. Okay, so this is a big picture. So okay, all right, okay.
I understand, but we need it all.
And there's no way of minimizing them. They're both bad, and if anything, the trans-Saharan slavery went the longest. Which I think you're right.
Either way, they shaped our history, and to where, like I said, my people came down to be where we are because we was running away from the Arabs. We can only hold on for so long. So
yes, they were brought to Mauritania. Morocco, during the Ghana Empire. That's when trans-Saharan slavery was happening, not during the days of the Guinea. Someone in the comment section.
I get it. What I'm trying to say is that from where I'm coming from, because when I hear some of our sisters and brothers who come back and having lived in this country for so long, went through the education system, the whites here taught us more about the transatlantic slavery in England than our own people want to speak about it. Our own people obviously know about it, but because we were put together as individual nations after the World War II, because Nkrumah didn't want us to be divisive, so it wasn't really taught. I'm sure if he'd stayed in power longer, it would have been, but I think the time has come now, with the attention that's been brought back to Africa, for our education system, our ministers to now assert themselves that we're going to teach this in our school curriculum, and we're not going to rely upon a white man to give us aid to run our education system. So once we develop, right, in Ghana, we got enough money to run it. We got the oil that's been used for education. There's no excuses now that we should not have a curriculum that should be educating the young ones coming up. What happened? Why are our brothers and sisters coming back? And they're so happy to be back. We got to teach. It's a fundamental. Once we do that, right, we can then really, really move forward. So as a Ghanaian and with people in positions of power, when I get back, that's one of the things I'm going to be peddling for.
Yeah.
Okay, because it cannot go on too long. And through theater was when I was at school back in Ghana, one of the best ways they can get to our head, because black people is different. Vision.
Very important.
So you have theater. I remember people from the north, from Burkina, very north of Ghana, coming down doing puppeteering work. I was shocked how good puppeteering work was among our people. It's been for years, storytelling. The announcing stories, I had most of them through theater. So what the sister doing is amazing. And I'm hoping if you do get in touch with the Ghana ministry, that they will allow you to come to Ghana, right? And trust me, try and give them an email. I don't know the education department too well, but I know the other places. That would be a good shot for you, and the English speaking as well. So it would be easy to get some of your stuff out across there. And we have a huge national theatre. It's not new to us at all. So I think storytelling, especially to our children through theatre, is amazing. And dancing and so on. That's how our kids' mind are easily gravitate. So good luck what you're doing. I think is great. Like with everything else, we need finance. So hopefully that will come to pass. But what you're doing is I commend that. Like I said, I'm not against women. It's just that my tentacles always go up because I know the fight we got in front of us as a people.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just wanted to come off from what Lewis was saying in terms of finance. I don't know how you going about in terms of acquiring finance. Is it something that you're using from your own your own funds? How are you going about that?
So I have some donations, like my sister friend Aya, that has been generous enough to give me a substantial donation. But for the most part, is private. From me and my husband.
Right. I think what we can do there is Dinus. I don't know if she can drop some type of link or some type of payment, and every time the show is on,
she has do you have a payment link, Dory? Well, it's Zelle. I don't think you guys have Zelle. Guys, where are you based out of?
UK.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Yeah, that's the problem with us.
I mean, if you can get something on every time the show's on, every time Dinus is doing the shows and doing all this, we can obviously promote that. We can promote that on the channel for contributions, and obviously to help you on your way. Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
That's what we should be doing.
I can probably get you a PayPal UK link. Can you pay through a PayPal link?
Yeah, absolutely. PayPal's okay. But if you could get something broad for everyone to contribute in, so every time Dinus is on and doing all this content, panels, we can just promote it, and get people contributing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Dory. If you could set up a PayPal link, UK link right now, that'd be great. So why these folks are here, But go ahead, Sam, man. Unmute yourself, Sam, man.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Yes. Hi. I would just like to ask the guests. I was inquiring about their play. Is this like a autobiographical in nature to play, or is it like some type of historical fiction type novel? And also, do you have a history of artistic playwriting in your past? And who's the author of the playwright, if you don't mind explaining that as well? Okay.
I'm the author.
Okay, that's excellent.
And so basically,
Sam, I got to Sam, man, turn off the playback. All right, go ahead, Dory.
Wait a minute, I'm trying to see if they have a PayPal. for the UK. I'm sorry. Okay, wait one moment. I'm trying to get that for you guys. So it's loosely based off of my story. Meeting my husband in 2009. He said he was from Sierra Leone. I had no idea where Sierra Leone was, nor did I have any desire to go to Sierra Leone. That was in 2009. We married in 2010. My husband had a vasectomy. But in 2011, in July, we had a daughter. And so for me, I'm very.
Whoa, hold on.
Your husband had a vasectomy.
So hold on. I'm not laughing, but just all right. So was the daughter after the vasectomy?
Yes, way after the vasectomy, like you're good, everything.
Well, he need to get his money back.
They are not 100%. They're not 100%.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's not 100%.
Okay.
And so her name is Destiny. So we love her to death. I can say 100% certainty I would not be here if it wasn't for her. And so when you think of ancestors and the call, you would have to say the ancestor was like, okay, this girl is really crazy about family. She would want this child to see her grandparents, to see her uncle. And so let's put this in the mix. So probably 2000, and that was 2011. So it took me another 8 years for him to convince me to move to Sierra Leone. I had a good government job, as we would say. I worked for the Department of Taxation. I was a tax auditor. Had no intention of going to Sierra Leone. Basically believed all the propaganda. They sold us. They don't like us. Why would we go here? It's dirty. They're just backwards. Why would I leave the land of milk and honey to go to this place? So I convinced my husband, let's give it 2 years to sell his hotel. From the time that I came here, it's just like little breadcrumbs. That's what I call them. And so when I got here, it just felt familiar. That the air felt familiar. The smells felt familiar. Definitely the faces felt familiar to me. And so I was like, well, who am I to make my husband sell his dream? Something that he's been working on all of his, since he's been in America, working day and night for this hotel. Who am I to say you need to sell it so that we can go back to America? So that was in 2019. 2020, COVID hit and just threw everything out of whack. And so we came back briefly for back to America, but I was still So before before COVID hit, I had went to Bunce Island, and that's when I knew the story that we were not taken because we were savages eating each other. We were uncivilized and all the things that they tell you in so many ways. And in America, we were actually took because we could cultivate rice. We had a skill that they wanted but did not want to pay, right? We had medicinal skills. We were able to extract indigo from leaves. I learned that in one trip at Bunce Island. And another thing, Bunce Island only shipped to South Carolina and to Georgia. And so for that main reason, I felt like as an African American, we should know about Sierra Leone, because if you had a slave port that only shipped to America, that's an issue, and that's something that it should be taught. Long story short, I took the African ancestry test, and I'm from here. So then we got involved in the passport program. It was going pretty well. All of a sudden, it just broke down. It broke down. And I felt like we're missing the story. It broke down because of the stories that we are told on both sides, the people that were of the soil and the people that were taken from the soil. We don't know each other. We don't look at each other as family. And so there's no understanding. There's no understanding like how somebody from Sierra Leone would feel that way about us. But if you look at the stories that we were told about each other, you can see why there was a divide. And so I can definitely continue to add fire to the divide, add gasoline on the fire. Sorry. I can continue to do that, or I can think of a way to try to get our story out, to get us to have conversations, to allow us to start understanding that, yes, okay, yes, it's true. Maybe they did sell us, but I don't think it's just that. I think it's more complex than that. I think it's a conversation that you would really have to dissect it and break it down a couple of levels. We can't just go with, oh, they sold us. Okay, well, we're living in a place that didn't have to buy us, right? And so when I took all of that into consideration, I said, I have to write this play because I'm not here by a coincidence. I'm here because, in my opinion, somebody wanted to come back. Somebody wanted to come home again. And so I wrote this play for her because, like I said, it's too many coincidences for it just to be just something that is not being led. So that's how I wrote it.
So are you saying like the spirit led you? It was like some type of spiritual incarnation that led you to endeavor into this artistic work, or do you have a history of creating artistic work like plays? Because I was going to research some of your past performances or your past works.
No, nope, no, no.
Okay.
I have not done anything. My daughter is, she works in theater. She's an actress. She lives in Philadelphia. And so she has been around. So I've been around theater for a while, and I do love theater. But to say that I ever wrote anything, no.
Hey, if you guys don't know, I'm about to be Dory's son-in-law. Just want to put that on record.
But no. And so I would say, I'm still learning. I'm still deconstructing, but I do believe in ancestors. I do believe in African spirituality. And I do believe that if somebody is snatched so violently from their home, torn away from their family, I do believe you carry that trauma in your DNA. And so I do believe that there's a longing to be back where you were. And so I do believe in that.
Is there? Will you give us? Will you give us any spoilers about what happens in the play, or we just have to check it out?
Yeah, you would just have to check it out. But of course, we will get together, kumbaya, right at the end. And so, I mean, it's just like I said, it's before the rift. How we lived in community. I don't know if Dinus has my song. That's another way you all can support me as well. I do. It's on Apple Music. It's on Spotify. If you download it, I think it's like 99 cents. That's better, and those proceeds would also help me too. But so it was just the riff before. It's a brief part of the play, the disconnection when we were taken apart, and then the ancestors just working to make sure to bring that village back, just to make sure that the song is already heard in everybody and is carried through us, just to make sure that it's heard. And they just need to get it back before the third generation can so that the curse will set. It takes them 3 generations, or the curse will be set. They'll be forever.
Are you familiar with the film Sankofa?
No, Aya told me about that.
Yeah.
I started watching it, but I couldn't. But I have seen it.
Yeah, that's a very powerful piece, Sankofa. And the brother asked you, is this essentially ancestral work? And I would say yes. The Song of Njama is definitely ancestral work. Like Sankofa, we are our ancestors. Now it's finally been acknowledged, something that we African people have been knowing, that our physical body is a representation of our spirit. So we carry memory in our blood. We carry memory in our bones. So when we go back to relearn what we used to know, when we Sankofa, we find our ancestors, and we find that they still speak to us when we listen. So one of the beautiful things about this production is that it is the telling of our shared story, not just those who are soil-born Africans, but those who are also diaspora-born Africans. It's our collective story. So it does repair the breach between us, and it restores our mind back to where we were before interruption. You all were talking about, the difference between Arab enslavement and Eurasian enslavement of our ancestors. When I go to focus on education, I actually like to go back before then, because I like to go back to where we were before those interruptions, to look at our ancient civilizations before somebody came and used our differences as divisiveness. So, to educe means to bring forth, to bring out. So what should be brought out in us when we watch works like the Song of Njama is the fact that we are African, because before there was a Sierra Leone, Sierra Leone is the country whose borders were decided by Europeans. That's not even our thing. It's the same thing as the plantation. That's not our thing. That was decided for us by somebody else. But we had our nations, and I do think we should take pride in our nations, because the differences that we have enhance us when we use them to enhance us, as opposed to dividing us. And that's something else I love about Dory's story, her life, not even just her story, but her life, that her bloodline on that side, on that matrilineal line, is Mende. She's married to a Simne man. We are the same.
I didn't know your husband is Simne and your Mende. That's interesting.
Someone said in the comments, like, well, Turay isn't a Mende name. It's not, but
Yeah, I saw it. It come from a northerner. I see someone called Cisse, and it's from the north, because in the north we've got different last name to the south. Well, sometimes you have listen. Some of the Mende people are mixed with Mandingo people, so they tend to have different last names. So it's not, some of the Mende people are mixed with Fula, like the Kai Mende. They don't have last name. They don't have last name. So, and even Turay is not really originally a Temne last name. Turay belongs to the Mandingo people. But because of the intermarriages to the, because they have the borderline to the north, with the Susu, the Jalunka, and the Mandinka, they have there's no intermarriages. So this last name it's a myth, So it's not as clear as people like to make it look like.
Yeah. So my husband's father is Susu.
Exactly my point. And the Susu and the Temne, they're very close people. Yeah.
All of us are very close people. As I tend to, look into the different cultures. Like, I've gotten quite a few African ancestry tests done, so I know 5 of my different African lineages. But even outside of that, just traveling, it's like we are the same people. We may call the Most High, by different names. We have slight variations, but at the core of it, whether we're looking all the way back at Nile Valley civilizations, to the last great civilizations in West Africa, we are the same people at our core. Another thing that I love about African ancestry tests is it goes back to your haplogroup, which goes back to the original mother, which goes back to the original fathers. And we see that we are the same people. We have slight variations in our expression, but at our core is understanding the divine within us. We don't tend to, in African spiritual sciences, look outside of us for the Most High without looking within first. We venerate our ancestors because we know that we can only get here through them. And we have a reciprocal cultivating relationship with the earth. And if we all can remember those things, then we may have different pieces to build on that foundation. But as Dory coming back home to Sierra Leone shows, through her marriage, through her family, just that once we get back to our root, it's actually those differences are things that should unite us and things that we should celebrate. And so I love that the Song of Njama starts before interruption, and then it ends with what happens when we reunite, when we remember who we are, the force that we become, to just be redemptive on this planet.
Yeah, I mean, sister, that you just spoke. I mean, have you studied about the Ghana Empire, the Takur Kingdom? These are kingdoms that was around the eighth to ninth century. You know, because the Ghana and the
Ouagadougou,
Takur,
absolutely.
Ouagadougou, yes, yeah,
Ouagadougou,
Ouagadough,
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
okay,
So I homeschooled my children,
yeah,
and I did African centered curriculum. So I
right,
started with our civilization. So absolutely, I
right,
know a little bit. We have so much of a vast story and vast histories
yeah,
that I don't know everything about everything. We're still learning.
right,
But absolutely,
yeah,
yeah, I do know about our great empires. And
yeah,
regarding Ghana, part of my
Ouagadougou,
lineage is well, right now I'm talking about, now we have this breakdown, right? So
yeah, yeah.
regarding the country right now, part of my
Mm.
ethnic lineage is Akan and Ave. So
Okay, okay.
yeah.
Okay, because that's this were the two empire. I'm a Fuller by father side. Okay, the Takuru Kingdom is right next to the Ouagadougou. Okay, they were side by side around the same time. Okay, these were the kingdoms that was there before the invasion of, or the arrival, not even invasion, the arrival of the non-indigenous people, like you call the Tuaregs or the Arabs. Okay, because they came in first as traders. Okay, because obviously we know the Ouagadougou, it was known for selling salt and gold. And before the slave trade, this is what I was talking about earlier, the Trans-Sahara slave trade, before the Trans-Sahara slave trade kicks in. So this, if you want to understand the prehistoric Black Africa, times before the invasion of non-Africans, you need to look at those two kingdoms. Yeah.
I think Africa's future ahead of itself is going to be more exciting than the past. I think we must have a foundation of, so we got to know the past. We were late in terms of recent literature, but never late than never. I think going forward is going to be more exciting because as we bring back our brothers and sisters, and we now have the experience. We have people who have experience of who these people are in their land. Coming back and moving forward, I think that's more exciting. So I think we can get past these few skirmishes we're having in terms of how we're going to run our individual country and so on. I think the future ahead of us, if we put industrialization first so we can have jobs, the rest is history. Because we, in the West, the Black people create all the entertainment. We're behind much of the inventions and things that go on, and we're not getting the credit for it. Once we're back on the land, with the land, okay, 60% of Africa is not even habited. Once we're back on the land, we get agriculture right, we get industrialization right with our raw materials. This is what they fear. Yeah. So as long as we bring it back to us and what's in the future, I think that's why they don't want anything like that happening. So we once we stick to that, right? What's happened in the last 10 years, especially since Diana started his channel, at the time he started to now, the leeways and how far we've come, where we are communicating now. I never saw this in the 80s, 60s. Yeah, we communicated through letters, but now this is exciting. You can see it with your eye, live on the internet and so on. So I think the future is more exciting. That's what excites me.
I do too. I really do.
It. So because we've seen here, those of us who left the continent came here, all it is that they industrialize their nations, right? We just got to industrialize us. There's nothing we want. I don't want to be in a cold England. I don't know about Africa, but I don't want to be in this cold place, right?
No, but I had it. Fam, I had enough of this place, fam. Yeah, I had enough of it. Yeah.
I even had one white guy tell me when I used to play soccer, he used to say me, why you guys want to? I thought he was being racist. He wasn't. He asked me a genuine question. Why you guys want to come here? Because he used to love going to the Caribbean. He loves the heat. And there's nothing. I mean, I drive tour buses through in and out of Westminster. I be all them other places. It's cool. It ain't for me.
Yeah. Trust me, Louis, you can tell by my accent. I'm from the west of England, yeah? And I live in the majority. Yeah, you can tell now. I speak the farmer English.
But the way your heart is, I know that there's some other place where you really belong. And it's like that with Africa, with Christian, non-Christian, with our brothers and sisters who come from the Caribbean, in America. Just imagine, we are back with all the access we got on the continent.
Everybody, I have the PayPal link, so we're gonna pass the collection plate. All right, the PayPal link is on the screen.
Okay, I'll screenshot it.
And the link is in the chat room. And then what we're gonna do as well, we're gonna go ahead and start closing out. Miss Dory, anything else you'd like to share in closing?
No, I just want to say thank you. This is definitely a great conversation. I really appreciate it in comparison to my first visit. So I appreciate.
Was you on here before? Was she on here before?
I appreciate you, Dinus, for giving me this platform
anytime
to talk about this production, this authentic play that was created just through pressure. I didn't know what else to do. I'm just a little person, but I can see so clearly. I can see how our history is being used to divide us. And so, like I said, this is just my attempt to try to get us to talking and focus on what in the ways that we are more alike than our differences.
Gosh, nice to have you here, sister.
Thank you.
All right, cool. All right, guys. So PayPal link is on the chat, is on the screen. It's also in the chat. Guys, make sure you pass the collection plate, so we could make sure Dory gets her Oscar,
Tony.
Tony. Okay, Tony. Tony. But we're gonna do a movie version as well.
Okay, we are.
I'm a star in that one. I'm a star in that one. You know what I mean? I'm a star in that one.
That's gonna be awesome. But we don't do Oscars. We'll do Pata. That's who the Oscar is shaped after. So for Africans, it's called Pata. We don't need that. So I guess Dinus, you're first up for getting a Pata award.
Okay. Pata, absolutely. I'm gonna be all up in there too.
All right.
That is good at selling movies.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be all up in there. So everybody, the collection plate, y'all, the links on the screen, everyone, and also in the chat. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. And hold on, we'll wait 30 seconds so you guys can make sure you copy and paste and all that good stuff. Make sure you get the link.
I'm already excited. I'm already excited. So please post all the links and post everything. It's absolutely fantastic,
Right
and
there.
with theater, you can't go wrong, especially in Africa with theater. It's a win. It's a win because black people love theater. We love theater. So please post everything, and definitely.
And I believe Dinah shared my WhatsApp number. If you happen to message me, I'm going to create the Song of Njama WhatsApp group. And so I'm going to try to post in there 2 to 3 times a day.
Lovely.
It was a pleasure dialoguing with you all.
Every time you're on, if you can promote what the sisters are doing, that will obviously help in taking them forward, So that's a great thing.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family. Dinus Amir, search for Huru. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.